Well, greetings and salutations. Okay, I literally only have a couple of minutes to do this before I have to head off to work, which is also why I was not able to participate in Sean's Hangouts regarding this subject. Okay, Andrew Eby, the other day came to me with a rather obscure claim. He had made the claim that, well, it was actually two claims regarding the moon, but we're just going to concentrate on one for right now because all I have time for. He had made a claim that he could see uh, that his father was in Uganda, in Africa, and he was in either Mexico or San Francisco or both. It might have been just two different time periods, or the fact that he lived so close to the Mexican border. Either way, he had said that his father in Uganda could see Uganda's down here could see the moon directly overhead. He said 90 degrees. Later, he said between 90 and 80 degrees directly overhead. Um, and then he said that in California, he could California slash Mexico that he could see at the exact same time the moon 45 degrees above the horizon. Now, obviously, this is impossible. It's not possible at all given those two locations, those two sets of degrees. That would also, I'm sorry, but Andrew, even across flat Earth, that would make the moon an incredible height above the ground. And I'm not talking about just the little 5,000 that everybody likes to play with. Anyway, I saw Sean's Hangouts, and there's a couple of clarifications that need to be made. I think he might have misunderstood one or two things, but that's all right because we're good. We're cool with actually critiquing each other. Number one, if I can zoom out on the Earth and I can see California and Uganda at the same time, that means, and I'm only 17,000 miles up. Um, that means that it's possible to see from California and Uganda the moon at the same time, just not at the angles that he stated. Um, Now, what I did was because of where I was going to be for the night and my schedule for that evening, my lunchtime was going to be right around what would be considered lunar noon because I was in Kaiserslautern, Germany. Now, this is a 180-degree line south of roughly from where I was in Germany. And so when the moon was 180 degrees south of me, it was just west of, well, it was a good bit west of Uganda, which would give advantage to the claim or observation from Andrew. And I had said to him that I'm going to go ahead and go out and film the moon at I think it was 12:22 at night, which would have been lunar noon for the uh, period for Germany. And he was to go out at the exact same time in the beautiful California sunshine, crystal clear skies it was. Um, the He was going to go out and photograph the moon at his 45 degrees. Now he did mention that he was going to be in a discussion with Southern Israelite at that time. And that part was true. He did say that. It's not like he was, running away from it or anything like that. Need to be clear about that. But in his, this is the Southern Israelite stream. Um, in that he went out several times, and one or two times he actually went like at least out to his driveway. Um, Let me see if I can find that. Well, wherever the hell it is, it was right around here. But there was one that he was actually way out and actually out at his driveway looking around. And so he was actively looking for the moon. Now, according to a response from Southern Israelite uh, to Sean Hufford, he made Southern Israelite made a little video. Actually, I wonder if it's still up. Let me go ahead and check. He had made a response. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, Jews and everything. Yeah, yeah. Fucking Southern Israelite. Okay, well, I don't see it. It might be one of these, but I'm gonna say I don't see it at the moment because it actually had Sean's name on it. Um, but he actually turned around and said that at one point he said he didn't know anything about the experiment that was going on between myself and Andrew, but at the same time he showed that just prior to the thing, just prior to the hangout, he was actually told about it by Andrew. Now it doesn't mean he was meant to act on it, but he did actually say at the end here of this hangout, he said, "I thought we were supposed to be looking for the moon, or you needed something help with the moon." And Andrew actually said, "No, I don't see the moon." Okay. Now Andrew later blamed that on he thought he was looking in the wrong direction, which is where the whole north-south thing came into the discussion. But anyway, nevertheless, uh, it is absolutely impossible to see from California the moon up at 45 degrees and Uganda at 90. It's absolutely impossible. Something that I tried to state to Andrew, but Andrew didn't want to listen, so I proposed the experiment. Well, when I did this, and he went out to go as part of his the hangout that he was in. When he went outside a couple of times and went looking and actively went looking around, he obviously didn't see the moon, so there was no picture to take. Um, this all went in a different direction afterwards because he sent us a video. By the way, as far as doxing goes, I'm sorry. Now, I'm personally not going to do it, but he did put videos. He linked 2 videos onto my channel in the public comment sections that he does specifically say his address. He does specifically say where he's at. So, as far as doxing goes, he doxes himself in that. Um, I will play no part in it. I'm just pointing that out because it's just silly. But nevertheless, this is his street. Now, the reason why the north-south thing also came into play is because he stated that he sees the moon north of him. Okay, as in north. And I actually asked him once or twice to clarify north, and he says north. Now, you will never see the moon north from Southern California. You will never see it north. Okay, will not happen. You will see it rise north of east and set north of west, but only by a couple of degrees. Okay, we're not talking about flat out north here. Okay, now he did put out a video here. Sean did get this a little bit wrong. He was claiming that it was 4 o'clock in the morning. Andrew says in the beginning of this that he plans on making videos until 4 o'clock in the morning. However, this particular video was actually made at 7:28 p.m. his time, as stated by actually his phone. It says 7:28 p.m. Okay, now 7:28 p.m. Yesterday on in San Diego. Where's that? I had it open here. Shit. Okay, there it is. This is San Diego, timeanddate.com, moon calculator. Okay, San Diego, California. Okay, now yesterday at 7:28 p.m., okay, the moon was uh, about 10 to 11 degrees above the horizon from his location. Sun was down, it was dark, which corresponds with this observation that he made right here. Okay, this is out Andrew's backyard. I'm not going to make any arguments about the calibration of Andrew's phone as far as the cone and all that other stuff, because until you actually calibrate your compass, it can actually be looking the wrong way. So I'm not even going to get into that discussion. Um, However, this right here is slightly north of east, and as you can see, because he's on the ground level, and this is only a 2-story house behind him, the moon is really low on the horizon. Now he could see it from his second floor, obviously, but from the ground he can barely see it. Barely see it only having to do with its height, of course. That's not that he can't see it, and which corresponds to what you find on timeanddate.com and any other thing like Mooncalc and all that, where right around 1928 in the morning, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, or it's 10 degrees above the horizon, and only at 86 degrees east. Now, its rise point, which was a little bit further, is right at about 80 degrees. Okay, that's only 10 degrees north of east, which makes that east northeast. It doesn't make it northeast. It doesn't make it north. Now, the only time small amounts of degrees like that are important is when you're actually measuring things in the southern hemisphere, which you should never see below east or south of east in the first place. Yet you see that all the time. Well, excuse me. With the moon, you see it every, for about 2 weeks out of its 4 week cycle, and the entire southern hemisphere summer, you see it with the sun, which is completely and totally incompatible with the flat Earth, or at least the classic flat Earth that we all know and love. Um, but nevertheless, I did this. He said he was going to go out and do other videos. I told him, he has to do his videos in the corresponding time to my uh, uh, lunar noon, and he hasn't done so, or at least he hasn't done so in a way that would actually support his claim. So ultimately, Andrew, I'm sorry, you're full of shit. You did not look at, you did not see the moon 45 degrees up from California when your father saw it 90 degrees up in uh, Uganda. You did not see it. I gave you the opportunity to prove it, and well, we'll just say it this way. I can't say that you failed to prove it. I'm just going to say that because you said during that hangout, which was the time that you needed to be looking at it, that you didn't see the moon at all. Forget how high it was supposed to be. You didn't see the moon at all. Sorry. That's pretty much the end of the discussion. It's not 45 degrees up like you said it was supposed to be. Okay. Now, we will have discussions later about his claim of the sun being in front of the moon versus the sun being behind the moon in two different photographs that he did, and his incredible lack of understanding of what this means. Moon does not pass the meridian on this day. The short version of that is the prime meridian, which is actually over here. Actually, let me go ahead and do this. View, grid. Um, hello, where's the grid? Okay, well that locked up on me. Great. Um, Nevertheless, the moon loses a couple of degrees on the rotation of the Earth every day, and so that precipitates days where it will actually, while it goes all the way around the Earth or is observed all the way around the Earth, um, there are days where out of the month where it actually does not cross over the prime meridian during that 24-hour span. That's all it is. So, in short, sorry, dude. You proved yourself wrong, and that meridian thing has absolutely nothing to do with when you would be able to observe the moon from two different positions. Has absolutely nothing to do with it. So, I set out the test. He somewhat, sort of, lightly complied with it, and proved himself wrong. And then also at the same time, Southern Israelite, claiming that he knew nothing about the test, was actually offering to help him with the test in his live stream, and or at least acknowledged. He also acknowledged in his own video that he knew about the test. He showed the actual text of Andrew informing about the test, because I had actually said to Andrew at one point, I said, "Well, hey, if you're going to be in discussion with him, and Southern Israelite is actually on the East Coast of the United States, have him participate for additional reference uh, comparison." He made no promises to do so. As I said in the video that I uploaded, he made no promises to do so, but he said he would ask. But obviously, we all know that didn't take place. So, long story short, Andrew, you're full of shit. There was absolutely no way you can make that observation. I challenge you. I challenge you to I will make a video with my face on it, naked, on YouTube, just as a consolation prize if you can offer me the observation of the moon being directly over Uganda while you seeing it at 45 degrees from California. Okay? That's my offer to you. Take it or leave it. I don't give a shit because it's never going to happen. So, not unless you find some really crazy way to fake it that I won't be able to tell. Anyway, ladies and gents, that's all I had. I'm off to work. So, y'all have yourselves, well, as soon as I find out where the hell the window went, y'all you have yourselves a great day.